Hello, and welcome to Starting from Scratch. So today I wanted to do a real quick video about knowledge checks. So already in our first 3 days of our week of, we have been getting hit with a lot of knowledge checks. Day one's was we had Amelia who was using Mirage on us to get through our round start because we were picking options that are mids, and it has some 6P properties. So it just goes through and beats these, but we figured out that we could beat it with lows, and even moves that aren't low but hit with a lower hitbox, those also worked. Today, we found a Leo who was using this guard stance to try to get in without getting hit by our fireballs and stuff. And we found out in the match very quickly that this can be thrown, which was useful, and also that wow, that was not great. And also that it does not actually prevent stain here, so it's still not great even if they're blocking it, if they're trying to use it to block the crow, because they're still getting the bad state that they don't want, right? Like, crow damage is so small, it's not really a big part of your damage game plan in and of itself. It's the implied damage that you get off of every hit that you do popping them in the air for a full combo. So I could and did go through a little bit of stuff in training mode. I figured out that it is not a special move like I originally thought it was, but a stance that he can only go into after far slash or heavy slash, and he can only get out of it by either pressing a button or releasing the button and going into what looks like a recovery animation. So let's see what we are missing now by going over and checking out Dust Loop. So if you are getting hit by knowledge checks, the best thing to do instead of getting frustrated is to check out the knowledge database that exists. So you can see there's a ton of games here. We're going to be picking Strive. We're going to be going to Leo's little picture, and you can see it's got all the things you could ever want. An overview of the character, pros and cons for the character, the stance if you're confused about how that works or how to get into it, all their normal moves, all of their specials, all of their their everything, their supers, everything. It's great. So it's really useful, and you're going to be able to find what you want here. So here's that stance we were looking at, and now we can figure out how it works. It's got 10 frames of startup. I don't know how it can be active or not. It seems like you can just hold it, and recovery is 14. Okay. So I think that this might be the move. Yeah, okay, so this is the move. So this is specifically this attack that he can follow up with. And it's got fairly quick startup, and it is 0 on block, which means that if he hits you with it, he's kind of just out of there for free, even if you're blocking it, right? So useful to know that. Blocks mid and high attacks, and then loses to lows and throws. Lows will counter hit Leo, right? So now we have extra information about our risk reward. So now I know that, yeah, the throw, like, he could hit us with the attack, right? He could hit us with this attack that he does afterwards at the end. I don't think he's going to do it here, yeah, because I don't have him set to do it. But if we just have him set to do it, he could hit us with that attack at the end. So we've got a little bit of risk there. But if we see it, we can do something with that, right? We can definitely punish him for being in the stance and make him reconsider that option. So that's useful information to know. And then you can go from there and use training mode to figure out, hey, what can I do with this, right? Here's the combo that I got because it was a low. I actually learned, while I was running through this, that while the move hits low, my 2H is not actually a low, so I learned something new today. I thought that was a low, to be honest. It just looks like it's a low, but it's not. And it was hitting other things that hit 6Ps, like lows would, but that was just because those didn't have, they weren't looking for attacks that hit low, they were just looking for attacks that had a low hitbox, which is different, right? It just is low to the ground and not a low. So, there you go. But now we've learned that we can counter hit him off of a low, so that seems like a strong option to go to. It can guard supers, useful to know, so if I see him go into that, I can't just like do an invincible move and punish him guaranteed. Looks different, but has the same properties. Alright, so yeah, he's got two different possibilities, but like they are the same. And the follow-up has a pretty good disjoint, so like probably anything past his hands here is not going to get hit. And then it even tells me that you can exit the stance without attacking, and there's 16 frames of recovery. So I have a general idea of how quickly I have to move to be able to hit him if I don't think he's going to use this follow-up move. So now I can figure out some interesting stuff, and we could even check the other side of risk-reward, right? What happens if he hits us? Right? What happens if we do this, and we get the counter hit? What can he get off of that? It looks like he gets a launch into the slow counter hit, which is a big deal, right? Presumably, he can do something, you know, pretty filthy to us off of that. So that's useful to know, too. So now we know that, while this is going to counter hit him if he's in the stance, he has also got a very powerful slowdown counter hit on us if he hits. So now I understand the risk-reward of this move a lot better. I can make better decisions around it. I know that this can work. I know that this can work. I know that if we've got this out, that he still gets... He can't use it to not get stained. He's still going to get stained. And now I've got a way better idea of how to deal with it. And now, when I see it in the match, I might still, go, like, you know, swing at him like this, like an idiot for a second, and then be like, wait, because I haven't seen it 100 times. But I'm going to immediately be like, oh wait, I can throw this, I can do this crazy, you know, combo where I can follow up and I can get a super confirm off of him doing this once I see the counter hit happen. So now I understand this move. Now it's no longer a knowledge check, it is just a gameplay check. Can I do what needs to be done to play around this choice that the Leo has made on how he's going to get in? And so now we've got a better idea of how it works. And we can see that it goes along with his one big con, which is his slow approach. Like, yes, he can bulldog through your fireballs this way, but it's pretty hard for him to get to you. And, you know, same thing, like, he's got a step dash, so much like Giovanna, he has to press his dash button multiple times to get to you. But unlike Giovanna, his doesn't go like 3/4 of the screen in a single move. So, you know, I'd say from around here, Giovanna threatens a single dash into throw. Our friend Leo cannot do that. So, yeah, just continuing to learn things and use the power of Dust Loop now as a outside source, an outside tool to help us with our knowledge checks. And that's how I would use it right now, is like when something weird happens that I don't know how to deal with, I'll look up that thing and then I've learned it, and then we'll go from there, because obviously there's too much information here to be trying to learn all of it at once. So we will continue learning one step at a time as we go through our starting from scratch here and our week ofs, and I hope to see you there.